What up, what up, what up, New York Giant Nation? It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. And this is the true blue aftermath. Let's go.
You want to be great, you got to work at it, right?
What is going on out there, New York Giant Nation? Everybody, New York Giants. Look, I know everybody's been on the tanking thing. This tank, this tank. Look, as far as I'm concerned, I always want to win. No matter what the circumstances is, I always want to win. I'm always down for the win. A draft pick ain't a guaranteed anything. You don't know what you're getting in the draft pick. It's a crapshoot. You think you're getting something, and you might still get nothing. So I don't play for that. I'm glad. I'm happy for the win. It was a big win. It was the most complete performance by the New York Giants this season on both sides of the football. Utter domination defensively in this football game for the New York Giants. And I don't want to hear it was against Washington. It was just against Washington because Washington has been putting up numbers offensively, and this defense went out there and they shut that shit down today. Shut it down. Shut it all the way down. What's going on, Alex, man? What's up? Coming in with a great comment right here. The good in this game, sustainable play from Thibodeau, Barkley, Wandale, Dex. The bad, yeah, we're at picks 3 to 5. We're sliding down a little bit in the draft, but like I just said, I'm okay with right now. I want to win. I like winning football games. As a fan, I like to see my team win football games because a draft pick ain't a guaranteed anything. This New York Giants team is still not a good football team. Let's face it. I still believe this Giants team is going to finish with a top 5 pick at best. I mean, at the worst case scenario, it's still going to be a top 5 pick, I believe, because I still don't see a lot more wins in this team's future. But they went out there and played out of their mind again today against a team that, for whatever reason or not, they can see the light bulb always comes on when they play the Washington Commanders. The light bulb just always seems to come on for the Giants, and the Washington Commanders always seem to just fall apart against the New York Giants football team. So, look, at the end of the day, I like seeing my football team look the way they look today. I like watching them play the way they played. I wish we could have got that all season long. I wish we could have got this kind of effort all season long. It's a way too little, way too late right now. But like I said, I still don't see a lot more wins in this team's future, but I'm still happy for them getting W today, man. Adam, you got anything to say, brother? I know you do. I'm sure you do. Welcome to the panel too, bro.
Thank you. I guess I'm happy about the win. Not really. I mean, what does it do for us? I mean, it doesn't matter to me. All I see is a terrible Commanders team that gave up 6 turnovers. If this was any competent, that's not going to happen against New England. I don't think they're going to get 6 turnovers. I don't think New England's going to be that inept to do that. I think they're going to play good defense and be better. But whether we like to see the effort or not, I want to see a different quarterback here, and that's what I want to see. I don't want Marvin Harrison. I don't want none of this shit. And if winning this game puts us on number 5 instead of number 2, and we don't get Drake May or don't trade up, and we run it back with Daniel Jones, I'm going to walk away from this team. And some people may think that's harsh, but what are we going to do? We're going to still be a bad team. We still got a ton of shit we need to fix. And we'll see what happens.
You want to take this question, Adam?
I take FedEx at 5. I don't think they will. I think they're like Drake May, maybe a J.J. McCarthy. See, what you have to look at now is a guy like a Bo Nix. That's who you're going to look at, okay? A guy that can get later on in the draft who may not go as high as everybody else, right? I feel like this draft is too good and too lucrative to get a guy if you're in the top 10 not to get one. If you don't get one, and anyone can tell me all the risks factors that are there and all these coaches and all this shit about busts and all that. But if these guys do hit, what does it mean? What does it mean if they hit and you're sitting there in 2025 at 9-8 or 8-9, no playoffs, right? Because you beat the Commanders a couple times, beat a few lousy teams, get 8-8. DJ's still the same guy that he was. What are we going to do then? We don't have anybody on the roster. Like, come on, man. This is what I mean. This is what John Mara wants. This is what everybody who wants Daniel Jones wants to win. Me, I wouldn't care about winning. I would be like, all right, let's keep it rolling. Let's go make a move in this franchise. But we'll see. A lot of season left. Who knows? Maybe they still end up in the top three. If they end up in the top three, good chance they're going to pick a quarterback. I don't think after today the Lions. I don't think Justin Fields is going anywhere anytime soon. So we'll see what happens, man.
We will, but I just look. I agree. I want to see a new quarterback at this because I want to see the New York Giants with a quarterback situation
Well, we do.
that looks
I mean, Vito.
competent in the NFL. I no, I don't want to hear that. Look, I want to see this because look, as good as everything looked today, like I said, in the most complete performance by this football team all season long, there were still some offensive ineptitudes in this game because this score could have been far more lopsided. To be honest, the way the defense put together an absolute dominant performance in this football game, this score could have been a lot more lopsided had it not been for still a lot of offensive ineptitudes, and that starts with the quarterback. Tommy DeVito, for an undrafted free agent kid coming out there making his second career start, sure, I'm take my hat off to you, kid. You played well for the most part. You absolutely did for a guy in your position. With that being said, what they got to you, 9 sacks, at least probably 5 of those sacks at the minimum could have been prevented had he just been a little had better awareness as a quarterback out there at the position out there, and that's just facts. At least 5 of those sacks probably could have been avoided. Honestly, with a better quarterback out there, someone that was just more aware of what's going on around them. But I don't want to like shit on Tommy DeVito too hard because you know what? For a guy with his making a second career start and being what you call and being like I said an undrafted free agent, look, that was still an impressive performance for this kid. 3 touchdown passes. Once I don't even remember the last time a New York Giant quarterback threw 3 touchdown passes in a game. I don't know if Daniel Jones did that any time last year or not. I can't even remember to be honest. But at the end of the day, look, this team still has some issues offensively, and I'm with you right there, Adam, with the quarterback thing. We do need. I want to see a new sheriff in town. I want to just bring this up real quick. Bring something up real fast because everybody, the offensive line has been a huge scapegoat, and I'm not saying the offensive line isn't absolutely terrible because it is absolutely terrible and did not play well once again today. But this is just a fact right here. This is a tweet I found earlier this week. You know, you can't win with the bottom offensive line, Giants fans. 2011 Giants won the Super Bowl with the 31st ranked offensive line. They won because Eli Manning was an elite quarterback in 2011. Elite quarterback play covers a multitude of issues a team has. That I have to agree with 1,000%, and that's what the New York Giants have been
Gotta send
lacking.
me
So
that. So
if
I
you
can send
really
it to
believe
everybody
in
else.
if if you believe in one of these guys at the top end of the draft and this great quarterback draft, great draft class of quarterbacks, you absolutely got to go get them, man. You do. You cannot squander that opportunity. You cannot squander the opportunity to do so because that is something right now that can just change everything with this New York Giant football team right now. The offensive line is going to be bad, but we've invested so much in that O line. These guys got to get coached up. Maybe that's where the issue is. Maybe that's where disconnect is because you can't convince me that all of these guys are truly just that terrible. You can't convince me of that. It's got to be some disconnect with the coaching at some point too. So you got
Well,
to look deeper into that and try to figure it out. But the quarterback play needs to be elevated in New York. And look, Tommy DeVito, you play great, but I'm scared of what might come out on Giant Twitter this week. I'm scared of what the things we might see because I got a feeling. I got a feeling we're going to see people thinking, "Oh yeah, just build around Tommy DeVito. We got our guy. You just got to build around him now." I just got a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of that all week.
we're also going to be seeing a
But
lot
I
of
don't know.
they don't draft a quarterback now because of Daniel Jones and blah blah blah. I think if you're still in that camp, then you're wrong because he played horrible prior to getting injured. And if he's in this game, I don't know if we're winning the same way. So and honestly, I'm not going to say anything about the Patriots, but I don't think the Patriots are going to be as dog shit on defense as the uh, Commanders will be. And I don't think they're going to put themselves in a position to have 6 turnovers in the game. We can't forget that 6 turnovers help the Giants win this football game, and that's a fact. If you don't make half those turnovers, maybe they still win the game, but you're not getting 14 points off the takeaways. we're talking about the Commanders winning. Now, the Commanders, on the other hand, have their own issues that they need to deal with as well. Sam Howell, I still think is a good investment on their part. You can't let a bad game or two sway you from there, and people got to understand that he's only in his first year. You know, if next year he's doing the same shit. And that one pass, I thought they were going to win. I thought they had a chance to win the game, and with 20-something seconds to go, I thought Sam Howell throws it away. Then a pick six by obviously Isaiah Simmons kind of seals the deal, and we look good. So we'll see what happens next week. Um, you know, and look for Bo Nix. For me, that would be my quarterback. I would be zeroing in on right now is Bo Nix. If you want to trade down or trade back up and do whatever and get you, that's the guy. Howell's not a bum. He's not, okay. When you're putting up more numbers against Philadelphia than Daniel Jones is, I can't say Sam Howell's a bum. Does he have a couple bad games against the Giants? Yes. If he plays well against the Cowboys next week, but they lose, am I going to blame him? No. We can't keep calling Sam Howell's a bum, because if Sam Howell's a bum, then Daniel Jones is below a bum.
Look, Sam Howell had a tough day at the office, and like Adam just said, I wouldn't call him a bum. He's put together some really good games this season, big time games. I mean, I'm not going to take it to the extreme of calling Sam Howell a bum. New York Giants defense forced him into a bad day. And that's a testament to the New York Giant defense. I mean, Isaiah Simmons, I forgot to mention at the top of the show, definitely putting the exclamation point on the W today with the big pick six, seal the deal. He just Sam Howell had a rough day, but I'm with my co-host here, Adam. Man, look, Sam Howell's been doing some really tremendous things all season long, man. I'm not going to sit here and really shit on Sam Howell, but he's had a couple of tough days at the office against the New York Giants this
Yeah, I mean,
season.
bad games are
But
bad games, and
like
that's
I
why they
said,
play defense for a reason.
for whatever reason, his whole damn team seems it's something about this matchup. It's like there's just matchups that's how it goes around the league wide. And the New York Giants had the Washington Commanders number. I mean, it just is what it is. That seems to be a very real thing. I tried to, think this team is so bad it wasn't going to matter this week. I was wrong. The New York Giants have this team's number. Like I said, they went out there led by
And
Tommy
they were bad.
DeVito
They
and
were
still got the
terrible.
job done.
If it wasn't for the 6 turnovers, you're looking at a dominant performance by the Washington Commanders defense. But because they got 6 turnovers, it eliminates what Washington did.
Well, absolutely. But that's a testament to the New York Giant defense forcing those turnovers. You know what I mean? And causing those mistakes. That last interception Darnay Holmes got, that's a group effort, man. Dexter Lawrence is really the one that caused that. Dexter Lawrence, by the way, who is just, oh man, this guy's playing out of his mind, man. He is a force out there on the field. Dexter Lawrence is a legit force. He is definitely a top guy, and I am glad the New York Giants had this young man locked up long term, man, because he's a force out there. He's a part of whatever's going to happen with this New York Giant team going forward, whatever, and the rebuild turnaround. Dexter Lawrence is absolutely a part of that, because this guy is the real deal. And Kayvon Thibodeau, congratulations, young man, going over to hitting double-digit sack mark. Proving once again, also living up to his draft status now, looking like the guy that we drafted him to be, out there making plays. So, these guys, there's definitely some pieces to build around with this football team, man. Bobby Okereke, once again, out there having another great day. Micah McFadden all over the field. There's some pieces, especially on this defense, that really can make this defense special. This defense can become a special defense in this league, man. They're not that far off. This defense isn't that far off. I know there was a tough performance a week ago against the Dallas Cowboys, but look, this defense is a few pieces away from being really, really special, man. I mean, Cordell Flott, another guy they got ejected earlier in this game. He's another one that's been stepping it up week in and week out, man. I mean, he was earlier in the game before he get ejected. He had stuck his nose in there, making a couple big plays, man. Look, I'm liking what I'm seeing with this New York Giant defense. They look like they have built this thing up somewhat the right way. Like I say, they just need a few more pieces to really shore things up. Offensively, still a lot of work to do. Like I said, the offensive line still is not what it needs to be, clearly. But like I said, I'm with you like 100%. We need a new quarterback. We need a sheriff. We need somebody that can command this offense because that right there, great quarterback play can just fix things, fix a lot more than you realize. Great quarterback play. The New York Giants have been lacking that
And
for far too long now.
I want to say this: we won a game with a undrafted UDFA quarterback who broke a record that any other Giant quarterback or any quarterback has had. Is the first two games with at least two touchdown passes in his first two starts. Okay, first two starts. So you look at that right now. Okay, and I'm not going to be that guy that's going to be like, hey, how would you rank? I'll get to that in a minute. I would not just put Tommy DeVito back there. What I want to see, I want to see Tyrod Taylor start. This performance to me allows Tommy DeVito to be the quarterback the rest of the year. That's what I would say. Okay, look, we want to develop him. He's done some things. We want to make sure that he's done. I would put I would go May, Williams, Penix. I'd probably put J.J. McCarthy, McDaniel, Jaden Daniels, and then Bo Nix. Probably Bo Nix as five. But the point is you can. The guy had a great game again. And I think he'll do well in the NFL. I know he's a little older. I know people are worried about age and everything like that. Bo Nix is the only guy they're not talking about. He's going to rise up draft boards, as will Jaden Daniels. Plenty of things to happen, but they need a new field general. You saw what they're doing with Tommy DeVito, right? Imagine that with a guy who actually is meant to be here. Tommy DeVito can come back as a bridge quarterback if you'd like and say, look, you're not the starter, but you at least get a shot. Because if Daniel, like this is what I think the Giants are going to do. They're going to be dumb. They're going to draft a guy like Jordan Travis in like the fourth or fifth round who broke his leg, who could easily be a second round pick or a late first round pick. They'll draft a guy like that, run it back with Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, and Jordan Travis. And basically, if they fail, they at least have Jordan Travis on the roster to see if he's worth a damn. If not, everybody will be fired in 2025. They'll be looking to get a new quarterback.
Well, we'll see, man. Like I said, we'll see when we get to the draft. At this point, I know I'm ready. Like I said, it's time for a change. Change of the guard in New York, man. Offensively, I think this team does have just so many problems offensively. Still, even with the big win today, it's not going to change my opinion to that. I still think this team will be picking within the top five of the draft. I don't look. This was a big one today, but let's face it, I'm still a realist. I don't see a lot more wins in this team's future going forward. I still don't. I still didn't see that today because you're not going to go out. Defense isn't going to go out there. We can get you 6 turnovers. That's just not going to happen every week. If that's what it takes every week, if that's what it's going to take for the New York Giants to win games, then forget about it because that's not going to keep happening. They're not going to just be able to keep going out there and doing that. But I'm just ecstatic with this defensive performance. I can't, especially bouncing back from the week they had a week ago.
Well,
That
you know,
to bounce back like this against another division opponent is look. It's still, it doesn't even honestly 6 turnovers is 6 turnovers. It doesn't when you do that to a team, it doesn't matter who you're playing against because this is the NFL. So it doesn't matter at this point who you're playing against at that point. 6 turnovers, that's a great day for a defense. It doesn't matter who you're playing against at that. It doesn't because you can see matchups with Cowboys. They didn't force 6 turnovers of the Carolina Panthers today. You know what I mean? And that's a great team against a terrible team. So look, this is the NFL. Forcing 6 turnovers. That's an impressive day, no matter what, man. So this defense played out of their mind, and I'm still psyched about that. That the offense finally did their part enough, and did not squander the opportunities that the defense gave them this week. They did not squander them like they have all season long. What's going on? No mess, no nets, no jets, man. Thanks for stopping in, bro. Yeah, let's go, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, I always want to win. I always want to win the game. At the end of the day, as a fan, I want to see my team win football games. It just is what it is, man. No matter what the situation situation is. I get we need this and we need that, and we rather have a high draft pick, a higher draft pick. Look, I still think that's going to happen regardless. Because, like I said, the team is what it is. I still don't see a lot more wins in this team's future, but it's still good to see them go out there and get a big division win again today, even if it was against a team that they just seem to beat up on anyway most of the time. So it doesn't matter who it's against. A win is a win, in my opinion. And this is a legit one. Like I said, a complete win, a complete team win. It wasn't one side of the football or the other. This was great effort by on both sides of the football, and they got the job done, man. And this is what you wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see all season long.
Well, then if this happens, then Wink Martindale won't be a scapegoat. Matt Capta won't be a scapegoat. Like this is what we're talking about right here. Like we want to see. I want to see this, so I know I can keep my coordinators and keep my team. I need my quarterback because look what Tommy DeVito's done. Right, look at the development he's had in 3 weeks of starting. He one after this win, he has as many touchdown passes as Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones combined. Okay, that's one. Two, he's earned the right to be a starter. He won one game. If I'm Dable, I'm telling him right now. I'm telling the media right now. Tommy DeVito is our quarterback going forward for the rest of the year. I don't want to hear about Tyrod Taylor will be the backup. Bingo, bango, boom. Do I think you're going to get this performance every week? If they give up 9 sacks to the Patriots next week, I don't think they're going to win the game. Not that the Patriots offense is any good. It's just that that's an anomaly to happen in the game. You know, Washington is the perfect storm. I had a feeling they would win. I was hoping my feeling was wrong, but obviously I wasn't. But I think they get slapped back to reality in the next few weeks because I'm looking at Matthew Stafford's back with the Rams. You know, he's still there. They're still they still play hard in New England. Not that they have a great defense, but our offensive line still gave up 9 sacks. Even if you want to say Justin Pugh is terrible, absolutely trash. And if they had any edge rushers or forced any turnovers, this game could be different. So while I like the performance and win, I guess a win is fun for some fans. We'll see where it ends up us being if we get I'm going to say max 4 wins. I think we get one more win out of this next few. I still think Green Bay has a tough defense. But other than that, I don't see that many more wins on here like you do. Like you said, not you do, but like you said, probably 1 or 2 at max wins. I also see a few more wins by like Chicago and things like that. But I don't think Chicago's going for a quarterback. I don't even think Arizona's going for a quarterback. So there might be some chances to trade up in this as well, as Murray is playing okay, and so is Justin Fields. Hey, Tudo, how are you?
And host of horror, man. Thanks for stopping in too. Appreciate you coming through, host of horror, and thanks for coming by, Tudo, as well, man. But this comment here is something I totally agree with this comment, host of horror. A performance like this from Tommy DeVito today, it shows. It does. To me, it shows me that Daniel Jones he's just mentally done, man. He's mental. That's one of the biggest things. He's shot. He's shot here in this city. So people wanting to keep him around and trying to make up excuses why he still just hang on to Daniel Jones and this, that, and the other and try to go forward with Daniel Jones. He's done, man. Did you see Tommy DeVito hanging in there and taking those deep shots today down the field? Like, that's what we need the quarterback to do. We just need him to do it even better than Tommy DeVito. But at the end of the day, he was taking those shots, man, and a lot of them was paying off.
Parm.
You get Saquon Barkley involved in the mix. I mean, Saquon Barkley's back in the mix, man, in the passing game. Like, that first touchdown pass to Saquon Barkley, that was beautiful. Where has that been at for the last couple of years? Where has that been for the last couple of years?
Who's been banging the table for that?
Come on. When I tell you, and I've said it with a straight face, Saquon Barkley has a similar skill set to Christian McCaffrey. I'm not joking, but we got to use him in that way. We don't use him in that way. He might not still be quite as good as CMC at the total package like that, but he has a very similar skill set, and we just don't use him that way. Even when the offense is struggling and suffering, and today, the first big touchdown pass of the day, a big deep ball to who? Saquon Barkley. And not one, He doesn't get in on with just one. He gets in on 2 touchdown passes today. Like, where's that been? And yes, like Adam just said, he's been clamoring the table for that. You Saquon Barkley in the passing game. He has been saying that. I can vouch for him saying that. I know he's been saying that. This is what we got to do. New York Giants offensively, like I said, just could you imagine with the better guy at the helm? Like I said, not to knock anything DeVito did today, because he played admirable and very good for a guy given his position, man, and given, like I said, an undrafted free agent quarterback, rookie. So I'm not knocking. I don't want to keep knocking this guy, but let's face it, he's clearly not the actual answer, even though we'll probably have people all week trying to convince us that he is. I'm sure people will be trying to convince us all that he is, but we know he's actually not. But he did play solid today. Hats off to the young man. 5 touchdown passes in the last 2 weeks. He has more touchdown passes than Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones combined on the season. I mean, he's leading the New York Giants in touchdown passes, which is unheard of. Who would have thought that in the beginning of this year, that Tommy DeVito at week 12 would be leading the New York Giants in touchdown passes? It just sounds crazy even saying it, rolling off my tongue. It sounds crazy as hell. But that's where we're at right now, New York Giants fans. Tommy DeVito right now is our guy for at least the rest of this season, I believe. Adam, you're right. I think you got to leave that ball in Tommy DeVito's hands for the rest
I
of the
mean,
way,
if they
man.
don't, it'd be
What's
stupid.
going on,
I
Christopher
mean,
Tony?
clearly they won, right? A game with Tommy DeVito, Tommy Chicken Parms, right? They won a game. It's going to be a good story, you know. But again, while I'm impressed, I'm not impressed. It's the Commanders. They seem to always play badly, and the game didn't seem like they had 0 rushing yards in the first half. Like they had 5 sacks given up in the first half. Like the odds didn't point in winning in their favor, but they got 6 turnovers, you know, fumble after fumble. Bobby Okereke, hats off to you for being a good player and actually coming through. Again, there are some, you hear on Twitter, you see it on Twitter already. People are excited. This is why this fan base is lost, is because we don't want to win games like this. We want to be able to lose and go. But the Giants don't believe in that. They believe in winning. They believe in going out and playing, and they believe in not worrying about the draft pick and picking the draft pick. And like I said to you, if they don't pick a signal caller, and I don't want to pick a guy in the 3rd or 4th round, right? But I'm telling you, look, circle Jordan Travis. He broke his leg yesterday against Philadelphia, in Florida. It's going to be a long rehab process to get that back, but at least it's a bone, as opposed to like a ligament. So he'll come back stronger, and hopefully he'll be okay. But look for a guy like that to be drafted by the Giants in the late round as well, if they don't go quarterback and they want to pick a guy, develop. He's a good player, but those are the type of guys going to start to look at if they start winning more and more games. Like I understand people want to win, and that's fine if you want to. I'm of the ilk that does nothing for us in the long run.
Well, look,
Good for you, Two-Tone.
I hear you,
Nice.
Adam, man. I hear you, but I always, like I said, I always want to win first, and we'll worry about everything else later, man. I want to win. Ultimately, right now, the games in front of us, if we could win all the rest of them, I'd still be okay with that too. Like I said, because to me, a draft pick is a draft pick, and to me, they're not all guaranteed, man. A lot of misses, no matter where they go in the top, and whether they're top picks or misses, middle round picks or misses. The draft, you never know. You don't really truly know what you're getting. Not you hope you know what you're getting, but you don't truly know what you're getting. I mean, people get it wrong every damn year in the draft, man. People team get it wrong every year. It just is what it is. Right now, the games in front of us, ideally, I would still prefer to win these football games. I don't think, like I said, I don't believe that's going to go down like that. Like I said, because it took a Herculean effort today to really lock this game down. So at the end, and you clearly don't think you're going to get this kind of effort week in and week out. Not quite like this, not to this level. So at the end of the day, the New York Giants are still a bad team. I mean, it just is what it is. Big win today, but the reality is still a bad team, still a lot of work to do. I don't see a lot more wins in this team's future, and I still believe at worst case scenario they'll be like around that 5th pick within the top five still of the draft, which still gives you a very good draft pick, an opportunity to still get somebody that can hopefully change the fortunes of your franchise. Hopefully that person will be a quarterback because, like I said, I'm done. I'm tired of inept quarterback play in New York City. I'm tired of it. I do want to see a competent guy back there. Look what C.J. Stroud has done for the Houston Texans from 1 year to this year. This team will be fighting
But they're
for a
not going
playoff
to do that.
spot. This team, this team, oh, they lose today?
I hope that we get our team to do this, but I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think. I mean, look, the Cleveland Browns won a game with DTR, right? That's where the Giants are going to go. They're going to go bargain basement shopping because they're not going to want to hurt Daniel Jones's feelings. Now, logic would tell you if you're in the top 10, you're getting one of these guys, trade up and make a move. Will they? I don't know. Will they? Will the narrative is going to be, the flames are going to be fanned until we lose a couple more games. And since New England is coming in, and everybody already thinks New England's going to, suck against us, it's going to be one of those games battling for draft picks. And I think the Giants need to realize, like, they got away with one here. 6 turnovers is an anomaly in the game. You win that ratio, and they almost had a chance to lose the game as well if it wasn't for the ineptitude of Sam Howell and the offense. Now, I don't know, man. I'm kind of like, yay, we won, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, great. Now another year of number 8 under center.
That's a good question. No mess, no nest, no Jets. I got to think about that one. I can't. I'm
But
having.
the Giants aren't
Well,
drafting as
no,
QB number
Matthew
1.
Stafford. Didn't Matthew Stafford go number 1 overall?
He did,
Yeah, Matthew
actually.
Stafford go number 1 overall.
So
Matthew Stafford is.
that seal is broken. So that seal is broken. I mean, I know we want to do that trivia. The point is that I get what he's saying. He's like, don't worry that you're not getting number 1. I'm not worried about number 1. I don't care about number 1. I want to be able to pick one of these good quarterbacks in the first round. I don't want to sit here and win games and then tell me to run it back with Daniel Jones, who's not a good quarterback.
I'm with you right here, Christopher Tony. Absolutely with you. I don't. Damn the feelings. This is the NFL. Fuck your feelings. We need a quarterback that's capable of coming here and play competent football and win us football games. Point blank and period. Like I said, I'm watching what C.J. Stroud's doing, what he's done to the Houston Texans organization, just from 1 year to the next. I watched Joe Burrow do it. It's a reality, man. You get that right guy. You get that right guy in there, it can just change things drastically from 1 year to the next. It can put you right in the mix instantly. And C.J. Stroud, yeah, Houston's not necessarily in the mix right now per se, but they will be fighting probably for a playoff spot come late in this season. And on top of that, by this time next year, we could be talking about a dominant force in the league down there in the AFC South Division. So it's real. It's a real thing, man. You got to get your right guy in there. You got to get a guy that's competent, man. And we just don't have that in New York. The quarterback play has just not been what it needs to be, and that's just a reality. I don't know why we keep trying to hold on and hold on to this, and why we keep trying to say it just every other reason why. There's other reasons why this team is bad. I'm not crazy. I'm not gonna act like put that aside. There are other reasons why this team is bad, but the quarterback position has been inept. It has been. 5 years is more than enough. It's been inept. It's not good enough. It's not good enough to play good, sustained, winning football. You need to upgrade that position. Point blank and period. Yes, other things need to be upgraded as well. But don't tell me other good quarterbacks, yeah, they might not look as good as they do for their respective teams, but they can still come and function even behind this offensive line because they're good quarterbacks. We need that. And Daniel Jones just ain't it. So people still fighting and trying to hang on and keep this guy. This guy needs to keep his job. No, that's not what needs to happen. Or we'll just continue to be bad. That's a reality. We will continue to be bad if we want to keep hanging on to a Daniel Jones at quarterback. Sorry, whatever you want to say, kid. It just wasn't. It didn't work out. 5 years, it didn't work out. Point blank and period, man. Move on. Shut the door on that. And damn his feelings. And John Mara needs to For real, big time. Stay out of it, man. And let Joe Shane, Brian Dable do what they got to do. Let them go out there and get their guy. Because this ain't it, man. What I've seen from Daniel Jones, it ain't it. I gave this kid every chance I could, to the point even before the season got started, I was still defending this kid tooth and nail. But
Eli
that's
does
it.
count.
I can't
Eli
do it
does count.
anymore.
Eli does count because he was the first overall pick. You asked if who was the first overall pick to win. I'm not. You can't denounce that he was not a first overall pick. He was the first pick in the draft. So yes, he won a Super Bowl. Just because it wasn't necessarily quote unquote the Giants draft pick or quote unquote the Giants being number one. He is a number one overall draft pick, so he also won a Super Bowl as well. I get what we're trying to say here because someone tried to bring that point to me the other day where, oh, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, this, that, and the other thing. I get it. I get it. I understand it. But you don't try to have seasons like this, right? You don't. But at the end of the day, when you have a chance to get one, when a quarterback heavy draft, you don't sit there and say, well, I'm not going to take a guy to run it back with a guy who has two fucking neck injuries and a knee injury. Two neck injuries. One more hit, that guy is gone for the year. And if you don't have a replacement on the roster, what are we going to do? Oh, well, we got Tommy DeVito here, you know? And it's true. Mara is meddling. They do. It's a family business. He does count.
I
Listen,
mean,
it wasn't a trade. He wasn't the when you go back and you look at the first overall pick in the draft, it's going to say Eli Manning. Eli Manning was traded for Phillip Rivers, who was drafted fourth overall by the New York Giants. Trivia question here for you, no mess, no Jets. Who was the first pick in the Giants 2004 NFL draft? Nope, it wasn't Eli Manning. It was Phillip Rivers. So yes, he was the first overall pick. Just because you want to wrap it in a bow, saying, well, he was traded, he was the first pick in the draft, period, point blank.
and that's right where I'm at with the Christopher Tony. I'm tired of it, man. I'm so over it. I'm tired of the flashes and all this. We need, like you said, consistent winning play at the quarterback position, and that's not something Daniel Jones seems to be capable of providing to the New York Giants. Welcome to the panel, Unpopular Opinion Sports. Make sure y'all go sub up to my guy, Unpopular Opinion Sports. What's going on, Coach Ed? Appreciate you,
What's
man.
good,
Stopping
y'all?
through, man.
What's going
What's
on?
good,
What's good?
Adam?
How you feeling
What's
about
good, Mac?
today's W, man?
Uh,
Nothing.
it's yeah, it's just a weird. This is a weird team, man. Like even my conspiracy ass can't figure them out, man. It's like I don't know what these guys are doing because you go out there with Tommy slash Danny DeVito and and you put up 31 points. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on here.
Well,
Like,
it's like what's going on here, unpopular. Not to cut you off, is they heard all the noise
hey,
about getting fired, about this, about that, the Wiggs Martindale's defense, getting beat down by the Raiders and all this, and you go there and you play a Washington team who's inept playing New York. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to spin it and say we're still in the playoff hunt, all this shit. I'm not looking at it like that. This team is
nah.
terrible, and it starts with the quarterback and then the offensive line. The offensive line, who, by the way, was still terrible, but yet our quarterback somehow found a way to throw for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns. So you got to tell yourself that. Like, that's the difference right now. I
Still
don't
was
know
throwing
if
deep balls,
I
throwing
don't
deep
what?
think the
balls down the
offensive
field.
line was that bad. Actually, Adam,
It wasn't.
I think a lot of what Tommy DeVito was experiencing right now was being a rookie quarterback, and he was holding the ball way too freaking long. And a lot of those sacks, it was on him. I'm not gonna hold you. You know what I
As I
mean?
said,
But
I said at least five of them were. At least five of them were on him. At least five of
right.
them
The
could have been
offensive line
prevented.
wasn't bad at all. You know what I'm saying? Now, run blocking could have been better, although Saquon, he started getting going in the fourth quarter, which he normally does. But, outside of that, because I mean, we had 0 rushing yards until he started getting it going there in the fourth quarter, man. But to be honest with you, man, I don't think the offensive line was that bad. I think the Giants need continuity. They need like chemistry. It's a chemistry issue here. You know what I'm saying? Because if it ain't the play calling, it's the offensive line. If it ain't the offensive line, it's the quarterback. If it ain't the quarterback, it's the defense. It's like it's always somebody. But today, only today, they played decent complementary football when, their offense was able to get some points, their defense was able to get Washington off the field in certain situations, and their offense was able to capitalize sometimes, although you want to see more. I think the Giants could have put up 40-something points today, to be honest with you. But, 5 turnovers, like, come on. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? But I think that's what the Giants played today. They played complementary football.
I think we're underestimating what happened. The Giants, the Commanders are moving the ball up and down the field on us. The problem is that they're incompetent themselves on throwing interceptions and bad plays and things like that. Sam Howell feels like one minute he looks like the guy, the next minute he plays the Giants and he looks terrible. Now, I'm not going to throw him out with the bathwater because he still had a chance to win the game, and that play at the end is one of those rookie mistakes that you don't want to make. You got to throw that a little harder out of bounds, right? But it's not like the Giants were great. It's the incompetence of the Commander. I'm going to say they were good, but the incompetence of the Commanders. When you get 6 turnovers, you're going to win a game because just by attrition alone, you're going to win.
The Giants would have been one of those ones to lose that game.
Yes, if they were playing a better team, yes, I guarantee you that.
That's also based on the ineptitude of the offense. Like I was saying, it's the defense played a great game. That's what you do as a defense. That was what you do when you go out there and you do what you got to do on your side of football to give your offense every opportunity. And the offense took advantage of enough of the opportunities to still get the W. Once again, they took advantage of enough of the opportunities.
I can't
at
complain.
The end of the day, this could have been a much more. It could have been a much more lopsided game. It really could have been. It truly.
And I expected them to play like this too. This is how they played last year. Mistake free, close to the vest. Let the other team make mistakes, which they did. And now the thing that you're seeing that's different is Tommy DeVito, whether you like him or not, played competent enough where he could be a backup quarterback or fight for the job next year. That's at least what I want to give him. I don't want to see Tyrod Taylor in here next year, not because I want to see a tank, but because why do I need to see Tyrod Taylor anymore? All right, we know what he is. He's a good backup. Let him know, like, hey, listen, we're going with a young guy. We're going to see what Tommy can do. He gives us the best chance of winning the game already. All right, I know that people don't want to talk about that, but that's what he's going to do, and that's how I would frame it if I am Brian Dable. Only because why not? Why he won a game? He's won as many games as Tyrod Taylor has, almost as many games as Daniel Jones has. As a matter of fact, they all won one game. All right, every quarterback that's played for the Giants won one game. Okay, so why do I need to put Tyrod Taylor back in?
That's funny.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Chris Ram, man. Thanks for stopping in, Chris Ram. By the way, but looks like we will win next week as well. I wouldn't just count the Patriots out like that, brother. They coming off a bye week.
They're going to come to
Bill
play.
Belichick coach football team coming off a bye week. Like Adam just said, they're coming to play, man. And they've had some tough losses this season. They've been embarrassed a few times. They're looking to come and get a team like the New York Giants that they're capable of beating, a team that they should be capable of winning the football game against. And they've had an extra time to get ready for us. So I wouldn't just write them off quite that dismissive and write them off. At the end of the day, that's like I said, Bill Belichick team coming off of a bye week, man. So it's not going to just be a walk in the park. Yeah, the New York Giants can win this football game, should be able to win this football game. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't just be that dismissive of the New England Patriots, man, even though they're struggling as well this season. And they've had quite a bit of inept quarterback play as well. So just want to throw that out there. I wouldn't be that take them that lightly because this New York Giants team cannot afford to take anybody lightly by any means. What was you gonna say, Unpopular?
Nah, I'm just happy the Giants got a win, and I know the fans don't want to really hear that crap. And I've been one of the main guys saying that they've been tanking, but I don't want the tank. I want this team to win, man, and I'm glad they got a win. It's good for the defense, it's good for the coaching. And I mean, who cares if you give up a spot or two in the NFL draft? More than likely, you're still gonna have a top 5 pick. So I mean, I'm just happy this team won. As far as the quarterback situation, we all I think are in agreement they're gonna get a quarterback at some point. I know, people are saying that they possibly won't draft a quarterback. I'm not one of those ones to say that. I will say I don't think it has to be Caleb or May at this point. Of course, there's still a long process of the NFL draft to be played out. But from my initial reactions, I'm willing to be open to what the New York Giants do at the quarterback position. I'm not this guy that says they have to take a quarterback at number 2 overall. You know what I mean? I'm that's not where I'm at. So I'm okay with winning a few games and getting this defense and some confidence in these offensive players moving forward. Guys like Hyatt, guys like Wan'Dale Robinson, guys on the offensive line like JMS, so on and so forth. So that's kind of my takeaway from this game. Good win for the Giants, good win for the young guys. But we all know the ultimate goal here is to rebuild this team with a new quarterback.
That's where I'm at with it. That's like I'm just there. I need to see a quarterback, and a new quarterback. Like I said, a new sheriff, somebody that can come in here and have that moxie that you need a quarterback
I think
for the New York Giants to have, man.
I think any
Go
quarterback
ahead, Adam.
that comes in, it's got to be like like a Bo Nix, for example. Like he could really be a decent quarterback, right? I believe that. Um, I think Jaden Daniels has a chance. I know some people don't like him because he's a one-read quarterback, right? JJ
I
McCarthy.
love Jaden Daniels. I think he can be special with some coaching.
Right. So there's guys in here, JJ McCarthy and things like that, and guys who are going to be in the draft. I also said a guy like Jordan Travis, who just got injured on yesterday, who's a guy
Yeah,
that
that was unfortunate.
who will be injured. Maybe the Giants, and I hate to say this, do that type of thing where they push it down so they draft him and give him a red shirt year because he comes back. I mean, it's not like an ACL, so he doesn't need necessarily the same amount of time to do things. He'll still need to get muscle back and all that stuff. But unlike an ACL, it's a bone that he tends to heal up. You're not going to be like, oh, he's worried. So maybe, just maybe, you draft a guy like that, put him on the team because I think the team was going to draft quarterback for us. They were interested in Herman Hooker last year. They didn't get him. They were interested in some of these guys coming in. They didn't get him. They're at everybody's pro day right now. They know this team is not good. They know they're probably going to win no more than 5 or 6 games. I don't think they're winning that. And I don't think they're winning against New England next week either. I think the Commanders was the anomaly. It was that team like, they always play good against the Commanders. Next week against Patriots, don't just sleep on them, man, because Mac Jones, one of them streaky players where he can go off on you. Not that you want to, but they'll have a game plan. They'll know they're licking their chops. They see 9 sacks and they say, if we get 9 sacks and a turnover and we score 7, we can probably beat this team, right? So while I like that we won, there's a lot of stuff that tells me first off, both teams are not good. The Commanders probably aren't winning another game going forward. They might win luck into 1 or 2, but the Giants are probably not winning more than 1 or 2 more games.
That's dangerous though, because if the Commanders don't win another game, and we do win 1 game against New England or Green Bay or somebody like that, then they finish ahead of us. So the people that's
right, but I don't think they're
talking
going
to the people that's in that tank crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, but I don't think they're taking a quarterback. I mean, right now, Sam Howell's done a pretty good job this year. This game, like I said, you can't hold every bad game against him. You have to look at the end of the year where his numbers lie, what he has done over the thing. If he completely goes into tank mode and throwing more interceptions next week against Cowboys, I don't think he's going to play a great game. But if he plays a clean game, then let's say he throws for 250, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, but they lose, you're there. I think the Commanders have their guy. I need to develop him more. I don't think Ron Rivera deserves to be their coach. I think maybe Eric Bieniemy deserves to be their coach. But for the Giants, don't do the wrong thing here, Giants, and try to hunt this because we all know Daniel Jones is not good. And he's not coming back at the start of the year. I don't care what anybody tells me. He has a knee injury late October, hasn't even had surgery yet on that knee. Okay, and it takes 12 months of rehab to get that knee going. And he hasn't had surgery as of yet. So whatever he's doing, whether that's maintenance rehab and all that stuff, or the swelling has to go down, if he hasn't had surgery, that means a few things. 1, rehab, and 2, swelling is still there, which means he might have more in that knee going on than we think. They're not going to tell us because of the Giants, and they don't want to put it in a precarious position. They need to bring guys in here. They do. I'm not riding with Tommy DeVito next year. I'm not. I'm telling you right now. You heard it here. If Daniel Jones is under center next year and there is no quarterback in the wings, I will be rooting from afar. I will come on, do streams with everybody, observe the games, watch the games, but I will not be investing my Sundays the same way I do every year, because that to me will be gross negligence of an organization. If you're in the top 10 and there are 5 quarterbacks, and I believe the problem is that everyone's fixated on the top 2. That's the problem. And I keep telling people, don't
agree.
focus on the top 2. You know, there's guys. I love Jaden Daniels' skill set, and there's a lot to be desired there, right? And somebody said, "Oh, he's just Daniel Jones, just this." I'm like, but you don't know. Daniel Jones is a solid prospect coming out. This guy is fighting for a Heisman Trophy right now. Okay,
Adam, Jaden Daniels has 15 touchdowns and 1,100 yards in 2 games. And those games were against one was against Florida, which is a pretty, people say in college football, that's a pretty solid defense. I don't watch college like that, but you guys tell me if I'm wrong. And then, of course, the other one was against the no-name school. But that kid can play, man. Jaden Daniels can play.
So can Bo Nix. And,
yeah,
that's a guy that is going to rise up draft boards.
Facts.
Hey, real quick, I mean, this ain't football related, but I just want, if my guy Philly B is in the chat, man, try this Holiday Ale, bro. Make sure you try this thing. This thing is rocking right here, man. This Holiday Ale from New Belgium Brewery. Yeah, this thing right here is banging. It's banging. Just had to throw that. If my guy Philly B, he know what I'm talking about. I know he got one in his fridge. If he ain't already, check it out. And if you did already check it out, why don't you hit me up and tell me how good it was, brother? You know what I mean? But anyway,
because he's too busy drinking that Mad Elf. Okay. No, but seriously, I'm the guy who believes in looking past Williams and May, because I need a quarterback. And if you have a first round grade and all these guys, and this is how you do it. You can't say, I don't want to hear people say Daniel is this, Daniel is that. You have to look at when the guy comes out as a prospect, are they better than what Daniel Jones was? If the case is yes, then that's how you evaluate it. Okay, right now, there's many reasons why I'm drafting quarterback. One, Daniel Jones' play has been subpar at best this season. Okay. Number 2, the guy has had 2 major knee injuries in one season. 2 major injuries in one season: a neck injury that he shouldn't have come back for early from, which he did, and now a knee injury. Okay, so this guy is probably not going to be lifting anytime soon. He's not going to be, doing all that stuff. I know he's going to attack the rehab and everything like that. So then now you have no quarterback in Tyrod Taylor coming back because he's got no contract. So now I can't rely on him saying, "Oh, he's going to come back guaranteed," because he may not. Right? And then you have Tommy DeVito, who right now is the guy I want to see. And why? Because now that he's won a game, the tank is over. Don't even worry about the tank anymore. Put him in there, and if he loses games, great. If he wins games, and you could be like, all right, it's a great feel-good story. Who knows? Maybe he comes out of nowhere and is like a Tony Romo, right? He comes out of nowhere and becomes a quarterback. I doubt it because we want to poo-poo, but 250 yards is 250 yards. 3 touchdowns is 3 touchdowns.
I will say, Adam, just real quick, I think if he processes a little bit faster, this is what we always talk about Daniel Jones, and I've been one of the ones with you on this, Adam. His processing has been very slow. That's why he holds the football too long. I think if DeVito speeds up his processing, I think he can be a decent average backup quarterback. I do think that. I mean, he's not going to blow you away with arm strength, but he has good anticipation. He throws a pretty decent intermediate to short pass. So I think he can be decent.
Let me put it
this way. Some really good balls today. So he threw some really good passes today.
He eats chicken parm, so I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? My quarterback eating chicken parm. You know what I mean? But to be honest with you, I think what he has more so that I'm seeing is he's not afraid to throw it downfield. He's not afraid to take the deep shots. He's not worried about the pass rush. He plays quarterback. The thing is that if you compare the guys, we have 3 quarterbacks this season. It's almost like an audition for quarterbacks, right? We've had 3 quarterbacks this season. 2 out of the 3 have played better than the starter. 2 out of the 3 have played better than the starter. Okay, and on top of that,
Facts.
they've scored points with Tommy DeVito. So right now, he has your most output in any game in 2 games. He scored 17 points, which was the highest point total since the Cardinals game, right? And then he now has 24 points. I'm not going to count the pick 6 as points. 24 points in the game, right? He has more points in the last 2 games than any of the 2 quarterbacks combined. He has more touchdowns than any of the quarterbacks on the thing. For me, I'm putting him in the game and I'm letting him start and I'm developing him and I see where the chips fall. And if that means they're going to lose a draft pick, fine. But to me, if they're in the top 10, which they're going to be in the top 10, I don't see this team winning a lot of games because of this performance was terrible. There was a chance for a team with a better quarterback or a better offensive situation, or teams that don't turn the ball over 6 times, the Giants are not going to be able to win these games, right? I think product of circumstance, 6 turnovers, 14 points off those turnovers, more actually, 21. There's your score right there, right? So if they do, I think he's a good backup. I think he's better than, I'm sure the Jets would love Tommy DeVito right now, playing well because they'd be probably in the playoff hunt right now with a guy playing like that. So it is what it is.
Zach Wilson is that bad, huh? Goodness.
Zach Wilson is terrible. I mean, the thing is this. I liked Zach Wilson's traits when he came out. I liked a lot of the things that he was. I told Chris, I'm like, Chris Bucco, for those who don't know who's a Jeff fan, I told him, listen, man, that guy's got the traits. If you coach him up right, he's going to be good. And they've done nothing to coach this guy up right. Not that I care. It's also about you. It's like you get a feel. He's the backup quarterback in this league. He's not a starter. And if they had a competent starter like a Joshua Dobbs, they're probably in the playoff hunt. We're probably still talking about the Jets as a Super Bowl contender as opposed to what they're doing right now. But the team we got to talk about is the team. Here's the thing about a new quarterback: is it gives life to the organization, right? I think it'll bond this fan base together because there's a lot of us on the fan base who like the quarterback, don't like the quarterback, huh?
It won't bond the fan base together, because I'm gonna tell you why, Adam. Because even when you go in to certain situations and you try to agree with these people, they're already like, hey, no, F you, you're a Daniel Jones lover. Like, you see how me and Adam can get along and really build despite some of our differences. You can't do that with certain people in this fan base. They won't go for it. They're just gonna attack you and they're gonna say, look, you love fucking Daniel Jones. And I'm like, no, dude, I don't. I've never been a Daniel Jones lover. I don't know where these people are getting this stuff from.
Well, you know why? I'll tell you why. Because last year while we were talking in these spaces and in certain forums, you were one of the guys who was not. This is me from my perspective. Maybe people found out is you weren't a guy that was necessarily backing Jones, but you were enjoying the wins and trying to get on board with it and say, you know what, I'm going to give him a chance, right? And I hadn't heard you prior to, last year. We met last year through Jeffrey and all this, and we had been in spaces we knew of each other, right? And so I think if people don't know you and talk to you, they're not going to know who you are. They're going to hear your last tweet or your last text or your last whatever. You clearly, after talking to you, I know you're not a Daniel Jones fan. I know most people aren't Daniel Jones fans. They just don't want to. They just think that getting a new quarterback means we're going to have to go through all this again. And they say, look at C.J. Stroud.
No, I think getting a new quarterback is going to help the New York Giants. I just am of the belief that where me and some of these other people disagree is that they think the quarterback is going to come in there and fix everything. It's not going to fix everything. It can help. It can definitely elevate the team, but it's not going to make the New York Giants Super Bowl or playoff contenders. And I think that's a lot of disconnect.
Would I rather have a rookie quarterback next year and go 7-10, knowing that I have a guy on the roster, or would I rather go 7-10? Would I rather go 7-10 with DJ, who is still mediocre? We're not winning against the Eagles or the Cowboys, but we have nobody in the wings to replace him. Like, what scenario do you want? And I agree with you.
I agree with you.
The quarterback doesn't.
Like I said, you got to get a guy.
You got to
get a guy at this point. You got to get because it's just it will be irresponsible at this point. It will be very irresponsible not to bring something new in here. Like you said, DJ at best he can still maybe play a little bit next year, get things going or whatever. But but at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, you got to bring you got to. It's too many good quarterbacks coming out in this draft class. Not taking advantage of that and get one of those guys, man. You just have to. I mean, you don't get quarterback draft classes like this. They don't come around every single year. You don't have it like this loaded with talent, man. You got to go out there and you got to figure out which one of these guys is the guy that you think can be the guy to take you forward, move forward with in New York, man. You got to go out there and grab that guy if you got opportunity to get him, man. And it's just it's just been too long for me watching this football team, man. Like this quarterback situation has not been good enough. It just hasn't been, and I don't know why people keep trying to defend this shit. It's not good enough. Like I said, there's other things wrong with this team. I understand that, but the quarterback position is definitely one of those things that's wrong with this team. So that needs to be addressed as well. Like it's enough is enough already. I get the offensive line is terrible. I get this. We don't have a good true number one receiver. We don't have great specialty positions. I get all of that. But the quarterback position is a problem as well.
But
Why
are we
trying to avoid addressing that when it's the most important position on the field?
Like last year,
that's what I mean. That's
Houston
what I
Texans'
mean.
offensive line last year was ranked like 25th or some shit. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good offensive line. Okay, he comes in here and changes the narrative. Like that team is playing harder. Like imagine this, okay? And I didn't mean to cut you off, Max. Imagine this, right? You get a quarterback in here who's playing half as good as CJ Stroud, better than Bryce Young, but half as good as CJ Stroud. We're probably in the playoff hunt right now. You're probably talking about Giants being relevant, Giants doing this. They found their guy, right? No, instead it was the Giants made a big mistake. As soon as Daniel Jones went down, they tried to poo-poo it and say we're going to bring him back and all this stuff. It'll be gross negligence to do it. I don't want to see a fifth-round pick and hope you hit on a Sam Howell, right? I want invested stock in this first or even second-round pick or trade back into the first if need be. But the thing is,
we'll say, Adam, not to cut you off, bro, but what we also need to do, and I'm pretty sure they're going to address this in the offseason, is this play calling has got to get fucking better, bro.
They had some good plays today.
Atrocious. Today was the best I've seen them call plays in a long time. I don't know what this was.
Maybe. Listen, I don't mean to say this, but the Giants have schemed open their receivers a lot. Maybe this is just a product of a quarterback trusting what he sees, trusting what the coaches are telling him, listening to them, right? Daniel Jones, the problem with him, and that's what people don't understand, is he's a shot fighter to me. Once he starts to get hit, he gets rattled, and I think that's what's hindered him. And now he's been injured. He's been injured behind the offensive line. Now, you could if here's a different scenario. If Daniel Jones was playing amazing, right, and he got injured, like Lamar Jackson, right, and you're like, oh shit, he got injured, and you put in Tommy DeVito, I wouldn't be banging the table for a quarterback. I'm banging the table because the first 6 games that I saw out the gate, he was a huge problem in those games. Yes, the offensive line was a problem, but the problem is he also is in his head. He can't turn the ball over. He can't do it. That was his Achilles heel. I told people, people ask me, Adam, when did you stop liking Daniel Jones? Or when did you start to, see that he got neutered? He got neutered in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers his second year. When he threw a red zone interception, you could just feel the air deflate out of him. Okay, you could just see his confidence go numb because that's what they were talking about all year. In the first game, what does he do? He throws a turnover. And so he was conservative most of his time. Then he gets beat up. Now, most quarterbacks like Tommy DeVito,
he does seem like a kind of like a hot and cold player. Like when he's hot, he's hot. He's going to do his thing, but when he's not, he's not.
Well, the thing is,
I will say that. But one more thing, Adam, before I pass the mic. Look, bro, the thing about it is Tommy DeVito wasn't necessarily trusting himself either. I think a lot of what we need to talk about too is this offensive line has been playing better since Andrew Thomas and Tyree Phillips have been out there at left and right tackle. Evan Neal he's like a cancer to this offensive line, bro. They play so much better when that dude's on the bench. I'm just saying.
I mean, they're not going to get rid of
It's
that
the
guy's
truth.
top
It's the
five pick.
truth.
Giants are a scholarship organization, so they're going to give him every chance to fail next year before they do anything, before doing anything in terms of moving on from him. But to me, I'm looking at it like this, man. Your offense is not necessarily broken. It's just the signal caller is broken. And when you get in the guy here that you're going to, I don't care about investing. The contract says all you need to know. The fact that you can get out of this contract after next season tells me exactly what you need to know. This was built because of this draft. You don't think Joe Shane looked at the quarterbacks coming out with and said, maybe we need to get a guy in 2024. Let's have this contract end in case he fails. You know? So for me, I'm gonna, rewatch the game, look at a lot of things. But I think, like I said, going forward, I want to see Tommy DeVito, Tommy Chicken Parm. I don't need to see, because the thing is this: at the end of the day, if Daniel Jones doesn't come back next year, and you want to start a rookie, at least Tommy DeVito is here in the offense, and you're developing a guy that can come in and at least then you'll be like, all right, whatever. Because I don't think the Giants are gonna have a good season next year. They're playing the AFC North. Everybody in the AFC North is good. They still play 2 games against the Cowboys next year. They're going to be playing.
They're going to struggle, man, with those defenses. Boy,
right.
Boy.
And all those defenses are good, even the Bengals, and they all have quarterbacks on their team right now. So I am not going to sit here and just say, oh, next year Daniel's going to be good because and say, oh, we're catching up to the Cowboys and all that shit. When the Bears we play next year, they're building a defense, right? They're getting better. I think we're going to play another team in the we're playing the NFC South. They all suck down there. But the point is that if they get a quarterback or they make some moves, who knows, right? We still have Matthew Stafford right now on the roster and Jordan Love playing us, and they have some solid defense.
The Giants can make some moves too. The Giants can go out and get a rookie quarterback. They can go out and get T. Higgins. You know what I'm saying? A right tackle. And they might be in the mix. They might be right back to where they were, last year, or even better than that, man. So things can turn around in the NFL really fast. And I agree with you to this point, Adam. A quarterback can be a spark plug, but he is not the end all be all. So I just don't want Giants fans to think that a guy like Caleb or Drake May, and this kind of why I don't really want those guys, to be honest with you, because the expectation is going to be too high. The expectations are going to be through the roof, and Giants fans and this media is going to be expecting these guys to come in here and really turn this team around. And I think that's not a fair expectation for a rookie quarterback because we already went through that. So that's all I'm saying. Let's build this team out, man. We can get our quarterback this draft or whenever, but let's really build this team out, man. And let's see if we can really start to try to compete with at least the teams in our division outside of Washington.
Well, the thing is this, right? And I'm not discounting the defense and anything. I'm not trying to be that person that doesn't think the Giants are going to grow as well. But those teams also have an offseason, and I think Giant fans tend to forget that, and they think about that. All I'm saying is you get a new quarterback in here, I think it'll rejuvenate the franchise, rejuvenate some of the fan base. Even the Daniel Jones haters will be out there or Daniel Jones lovers will be out there until this kid starts to play. But at the end of the day, we need to see an upgrade. We need to see a change. We just need to see a change to see, hey, is Daniel really the issue, or is it the coaching staff, or is it something else? Because we've changed everything else out, but we haven't changed the quarterback, and the same results have happened. Right? I'm not excited that we won this game, but at the end of the day, I understand we're not a good team, and we beat a team that was far worse than we were in terms of just the overall day. Their record was better than ours, but they played worse than us. I didn't think I would see a worse game from the Commanders, but we'd see a better game. But every time they bring out them black uniforms, somebody's dying, whether it's their season or our season. They always bring out them black uniforms. I'm like, once I saw them in their black uniforms, like they're gonna lose. I'm like, they're gonna lose. They didn't even come out in their normal maroon colors.
I love the Commanders, man, because that's the only team we legitimately can talk trash to, and they can't say shit about it. We always own these guys, bro. And that, to me, that's a lot of what I love about being a fan. And this Giants team has took a lot of fandom out of me, man, to be honest with you, man, because we always lose. We always get mobbed and embarrassed and just look like a complete incompetent organization. But when we play those dang on Commanders, boy, I'm gonna tell you what, man.
Well, I think what
You
took the
look
fan,
like the dang on Chiefs.
you know, what took the fanhood out of me is arguing with other fans, right? I used to do that when I
True.
was younger, but now that I'm older, I don't have time to bicker every time about every little thing. I give you my opinion. I want to move on from it. What I've
Yeah.
lost is that we don't have we don't want to have a direction. We don't want to do that. If we fight all the time in house within our own fan base, our owner is a meddling owner, and I feel like we're trying to be good for just mediocrity. And I think for me,
I was
even
told
though
he
like you
doesn't
said,
meddle. That's what I was told, Adam. He doesn't meddle. He would never tank. He would never do any of these egregious things that people like I'm saying. Because to me, John Mara has always been a reactional owner. He
right?
reacts to the fan base and the media. And if the fan base and the media says, "Hey, look, we don't want Daniel Jones, yada yada yada," then he's gonna get rid of Daniel Jones, or he's gonna consider getting rid of Daniel
Oh
Jones.
no,
Now,
no, he's
last
doing the
year,
opposite.
what they did, what they did last year though was they doubled down and they pretty much was like, okay, look, he succeeded as far as getting us to the playoffs and winning the playoff game. So it kind of justified Mara and him giving Daniel Jones the contract. But I will stand on this, and people can call me crazy, conspiracy theorist, whatever. I truly do not believe Joe Shane and Brian Dable were 100% sold on giving Daniel Jones that
No,
contract. I
I
think
don't
that
think they
was
are either.
solely a Mara
Well, he
decision.
called Mara, according to a source that said he called Mara at the last minute to get the deal done. The point is this: you need a guy. You need them to have their own guy. And if they're not going to be, we don't know what's going to happen
Right.
next year. If you're 7-10 next year and you don't make the playoffs, you're fired. Right? If you don't have a quarterback in here to be like, listen, we went 7-10, we have quarterback starting, we're going to get him in there, and away we go. Kind of like the Philadelphia Eagles. What they did, they had Carson Wentz signed into a big deal, drafted Jalen Hurts, had a second round pick as a flyer to say, you know what, we'll take him. Worst case scenario, he's a backup. Best case scenario, he's a starter. Worst case scenario, we'll cut him and nobody will care. They'll go on and bounce around the league. Best case scenario happened for them, right? Carson Wentz fell apart. They got injured. He was out of the game. They put in Jalen Hurts for the remaining 6 games, and he had up and down season, and they had a top 10 pick. He comes in, they go to the playoffs. They say, all right. They didn't even double down on him. They're like, fuck it. We'll see if we get better. He got better when they brought in the weapons, but he got better. Because a lot of people want to say, well, the weapons make the quarterback. No, the quarterback makes the weapons. That's the difference. The quarterback makes the weapons. It's good to have Jamar Chase on your team, but if you can't throw him the ball, it doesn't matter if you have Jamar Chase on your team. Right? So that's why people are like, oh, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. That's fine until Daniel Jones. We rewatch the film and Daniel Jones is missing a streaking Marvin Harrison Jr. down the field. Right? Then what use is that?
Yeah.
Well,
I
look,
think they.
fellas,
I think
fellas,
if they
fellas.
could. Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say because we're gonna wrap up soon. I just wanted to send a little message to Tommy DeVito real quick, man. Like, good day, young man. They just showed you highlights on the red zone, rookie performance of the day, good stuff. But Tommy DeVito, I understand you're an undrafted rookie free agent and all, you know what I mean. But you're an NFL quarterback. You are now a starting NFL quarterback, at least probably for the rest of this season, brother. Your bank account is still larger than most people, even if you are only getting the league minimum. Get your ass up out your mama's house and do your own damn laundry, bro. That's all I got to say, Tommy DeVito, man. Man up in life, brother. Man up in life. You a grown ass man with a large bank account. Get the fuck out your mom's house, bro. That's just ridiculous. All right, your mom shouldn't be still doing your laundry and cooking you dinner. All right, every night. I mean, that's just crazy. But y'all got any final thoughts, man, before we wrap things up, man?
You can't leave that chicken palm, Mac. Man, that chicken palm got him. Chicken
Well,
palm
guess
got him,
what?
bro.
They're going to get him another one this week too. So
Oh, he getting premium dinner this year. Mom's about to cook him a feast. You won the
I'm just
game,
saying
baby boy.
they sent him a chicken parm from some store. Guess what? They'll be doing that a lot more this week. They're going to be like, oh, he won last week. We'll send him another chicken parm to win again.
Oh, I bet the offensive line and everybody come over for dinner this week, man, because he already said that he had been his moms had been inviting people over. I think Hyatt said he was over there, a couple other players, man. So shout out. It's a good feel good story, man. But we all know Tommy D ain't the answer, man. But good game, bro. Good game, man. Good win for the Giants, man. They needed that.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I don't
absolutely,
got nothing
man.
else.
Well, yeah, like I said, good team win for the New York Giants. Definitely a great team win overall. Best performance of the season for this football team. Most complete performance of the season. Defense played out of their mind. Like I said, loved the way Isaiah Simmons put the exclamation point with the pick six late at the end of the game to seal the deal, man. That was just fitting, considering the defense is truly the reason why the New York Giants won this football game, not the knock game offensively, but the defense was
Well, being that they
absolutely the
live in Bergen
biggest
Catholic,
reason why this team won the football game. What'd you say?
well, no, Met says the taxes in New Jersey, he ain't making life changing money. Well, he might not, but his I know his family lives in North. Oh my God, Zach Wilson fell on the field. I'm sorry, he slipped doing nothing. That's how ridiculous he is. But he probably lives in North Jersey, which is yes, a lot of money. I'm not going to just say playing for the NFL Giants team is not life changing. That's life changing. I mean, I would shoot. That's the money that lets him get out of his mommy's basement.
He,
You know what
he
I'm
makes
saying? So,
he makes enough money to have his own crib to afford his own apartment or lease. God damn it!
Man, he ain't broke.
Come on now,
I'm not feeling
give me
sorry for
a
Tommy
break.
DeVito,
The
bro.
league
Like, word
minimum,
up.
the league minimum is still more money than regular people make. Okay, I'm sorry, the league minimum is still far more money than regular people just make.
I take Tommy
So that's
DeVito
more than enough
situation.
money to have
Facts.
your own place. I'm sorry.
Make my
Give me
bed,
a
make
break.
my food.
Right. Get his bed made, get his
Mom shouldn't
food
still be
made. You know
doing
what
your
I'm saying?
laundry. You are a grown ass man. Okay? You are a
Yeah.
grown ass man. What the hell?
I
But
mean, I want to know what his shorty think about that. What little wifey or girlfriend think about that? Like, yo, you in the NFL? You still living with your mom's, homie? Like, what is?
word,
That's the thing
like
right there. What
word.
your
You
lady
talk
think about
yeah,
that,
what
bro?
do your girl say? You tell she girl be
Nothing
like,
because
yeah,
he's
Tommy
making
DeVito, my man, the quarterback for the New York Giants. He live home with his mom now. That don't
no.
even sound right.
Listen,
That shouldn't
listen,
get
listen.
said together.
Facts.
Those
I'm,
words
I'm
shouldn't be
sure.
spoken
I'm sure.
together.
I'm sure he's working just fine in the department. That department. Okay, so he's just fine. All them little 21-year-olds trying to hang out with him now. You know what I mean? Come on, they're not going to care. They're like, you play for the NFL, New York Giants. Wow, great. I'm sure by next year he'll have his own place. You know, save all
I
that
would
money.
hope.
He's not
I
20.
mean, I
He's
get
like
all that no
25.
mess, no nest, no jets, but I get that
Yeah,
no
I
mess,
don't
no
think
nest,
he's
no jets.
20.
But still, at the end of the day, man,
Listen,
I mean, you got
Italians,
to get
I
out your
get it.
mom's crib when you're making that kind of money, man. Come on, man. You can't be making that kind of money still living home with your mom, man. Having your mom still doing your laundry and stuff like that. I don't care what culture you are, bro. Got to you got to step it up in life, bro. Step it up in life. That's
Getting
all.
life.
Got to be
Max
your
said
own man and be a
life.
little more independent than that. Like, that's all, man. I mean, that's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me because you got cats that work at McDonald's that got their own crib. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You got to do better than that, bro. Can't be an NFL quarterback living at home with your mom, man. I'm sorry. That's just not. That's just weird. That seems weird to me. It's one thing if you were taking care of your mother, if you were taking care of her, like she had some health issues and she lived with you, but you live at home with your mom in your mom's house still. That's just crazy to me. That's just I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
Not a good look.
I'm sorry. No, I just had that thought. I just had it just because it's just crazy. I couldn't believe that when I found out that this dude still lives at home with his mom. I mean, that's just, whew, just that's something. But anyway, I'm sorry everybody got off on a tangent there. But yeah, that's all we got for the aftermath this week, man. Good win for the New York Giants, man. I don't know how many more we can expect of these the rest of this way. But at the end of the day, I'm going to still enjoy this one because A was against the Washington Commanders, and B, the New York Giants overall look pretty damn good doing it, man. So, and I haven't been able to say that much about the New York Giants much this season. So, hats off to the Giants on a big win.
Let's hope they right the
Thank you,
ship and
Adam.
lose
Thank you,
next week.
Unpopular Opinion Sports. Appreciate y'all joining the panel.
Yeah. Appreciate you
But
too, Mac.
it's your Mac the Giants fan, man. And y'all can check me and Adam out on Wednesday for another edition of the Real Deal NFC East Roundup. And we ain't got to be talking shit on the Giants this week. We can actually scale it back a little bit because they actually got a W, so it won't be so harsh this week. But definitely see
We
y'all
can
then.
talk shit on the Commanders, though.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do that this week.
Fact.
We'll
They
check
need to
y'all
be
out on
roasted.
Wednesday. So right now it's back to Giants fan. My guy Adam Costas and my homie Unpopular Opinion Sports. Peace. I'd like to thank you all for listening. If you was feeling this, please take time to subscribe and smack them likes. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to ring that bell so you know when I'm dropping new content. It's your boy, Mac the Giants fan. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook at Mac the Giants fan. That's MACDA Giants fan.